Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode here in Gearheads, the Sim Racing Podcast. I'm your host Ving, and today I have a special, like always, episode for you. I'm gonna have as a guest Lourenço Beirao da Veiga, Portuguese driver. But wait, this Portuguese driver is special. First of all, he is driving on NASCAR Series in Brazil, so it's quite important to have someone that come from Europe to go to a new completely series with the tracks that he never drive before. So it's quite good to understand where he trained from, if he's using the sim, which type of sim he's using. So going to be quite important for him. And to bring Lourenço, who is right special, as Lourenço is a very famous Portuguese driver, a very good Portuguese driver, and he's been already driving against big names. So when you remember former Renault, he drove against Robert Kubica, Lewis Hamilton, against Nico Rosberg on the BMW series. So it's quite important to have him as a person with a lot of knowledge to show us and to bring us a different perspective from the sim racing to the racing or on real life. Before we move to our talk with Lourenço, just two very fast side notes. First of all, you're gonna see that the quality on the video is a little bit bad, and that is my fault. As you guys realize, I'm still doing a little bit of chemio, and sometimes I make big mistakes. I was recording in in the Zoom, and supposedly it was recording in 4K on my part, and of course Lourenço from his video camera. I don't know why he when recorded, he put everything compressed in one file and put everything on the same quality. So it dropped my quality quite a big. I don't know why. And so as I'm shooting a little bit more on the dark, the footage is not the best part on my side. So I really, really apologize. I'm trying to enhance it, but I'm not good on that. Of course, the audio part is perfect, so don't worry if you are listening us on Spotify, and you know the drill. If you're listening on YouTube, subscribe the channel, and if you see us on the audio, or sorry, see us or listening us on audio, remember to subscribe and give us that 5 stars are quite important. And please give some comments on our videos on YouTube because that helps a lot, the enhances, and let us a lot to grow up a little bit more inside of the platform. Of course, before we jump it, like I said, the second side note has to be uh, the sad news about Traxion. As you know, Traxion has been made redundant. It's quite sad with everything that happened, but for me, they are the best in the sim racing journalism, and the evolution that they added in the last year has been amazing. So I really hope that they will continue with sim racing on their live to from all the part of the team, and let's see if we know in a couple of months we can have a new version of Traxion with all the team back on doing what they like more. So today, guys, I have here Lourenço Beirao da Veiga, Portuguese driver with 250 races already in his wallet, 60 podiums, 20 wins, a total overall of 8% winning. Thank you so much for joining me, Lourenço.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation. First of all, I'm happy to be here with you. That's you're in UK. We haven't met personally yet, but maybe soon.
Yeah, we will do it for sure. Currently, you are driving on NASCAR Brazil. How that started?
Well, actually, I'm very happy there. I really enjoy it. People, it's like it's different. The way they approach races are it's big. There's a big difference between Europe and Brazil. It's more. I won't say that it's less professional there, but it's more relaxed. Because I think they, for example, here when you have a battle between other drivers, you take it personally inside the track and outside. There, no, there it's finished. We go to eat some picanha, some meat. We go to the barbecue after. I gotta tell you that it took me a while to understand the mentality there, but after a while, I think it's the right one. They can separate what's race inside track and what's outside. So it's fun there. It's really fun, and it's good to be there. People are really nice, and it helped me a lot to understand the race there and to how do you say to get there easily. You know.
Mm-hmm. But that's the Brazilian mentality, you know, that The problems stay outside, and when it's time for the churrascada, as we say,
Exactly.
it's time for everyone enjoy it. But what is the biggest challenge of doing a NASCAR Brazil? And I want to know if it's very different from the stock car Brazil.
Well, it's a bit different.
Mhm.
Stock has more power,
Okay.
engine power, but we have more downforce. We have more downforce to the middle of the corner. We are faster. They need to brake more because it's a heavier car. They need to brake more. We are the the driver is in the middle of the car, so the balance it's really good.
Mm.
In the middle of the corner, we are really fast, but then on the exits and on the straights, they are much faster.
Okay.
We have a lot of also a lot of how do you say in English when you go behind and you get the condar.
Yeah.
They have a lot of drag.
Yep.
We have a lot of drag. They don't, so which makes easier. Sometimes imagine that I'm half a second faster than another driver. It's difficult for me to go away. So it makes me push the whole race, and it's which is good, and that's the main difference. We have some stock drivers driving there as well. We have some our drivers doing their races as well. So it's like a mix, but at the end, this is the main difference. But it's cool. It's a cool car, really nice to drive.
But it's not nothing similar to the NASCAR, the American cars, no? They are the same
No,
base.
no. It's basically this is a category that was bought from not bought, but it's working together in NASCAR.
Okay.
The cars are the same brands they have it there, the Ford and the Camaro and everything, but um, the we have less power. They are heavier. They have more power. It's like basically actually they're more close to the stock car than to us.
Okay.
But the races we have, it's very similar. We just have one oval during the season, but the
Hmm.
rest is it's a lot of the rubbing and the way NASCAR likes it.
Yeah, that's why I want to ask you, because Brazil trucks are quite particularly. They are unique. They
Yeah, they
can be
are.
very fast, and they have a lot of different. How we are gonna say different circuits. They change completely from one to the other ones. And how
Exactly.
you prepare yourself to go to something new?
Well, actually, they are very much close to the British to the English circuits because
Okay.
they are the how do you say the escapatoria the escape area.
Okay.
They're not very big.
All
They're
right.
small. So a small mistake you pay very expensive, and it costs you a lot. You have a lot of bumpy, but it's a
Okay.
bumpy surface as well because there are some are old, but they're really nice to drive. To be honest, I like more of this kind of tracks, bumpy and with a lot of sometimes sometimes the ideal line. It's not the ideal line on paper. It's not there because you have a bump. You have to avoid some. So it's makes you a lot of challenge. Um,
So let
the
me
way I
only
prepare
just only stop you. So what you say is quite similar to a Sebring, when people
exactly. You have we have
when
a
you
lot
cannot take
of
the same
cracks,
track.
a lot of
Yeah.
cracks in the asphalt and the tarmac. It's really nice, and it changes. Actually, you go here in Europe, you go for even in Silverstone, for example. It's a Formula One standard. You go there, and from one year to the other, you can change more exits area where you can exit but the tarmac is always the same. It's always
Exactly.
very not bumpy, very well taken care of, and there you can change this from one year to the other. So it's you always do the track walk there. It really makes a difference to understand some lines that it's only ideal there, not ideal in any other circuit. So it's very challenging. You need to go there. A lot of new circuits, which I had to learn.
Hmm.
Not many free practices because we have only 40 minutes, two drivers. Sometimes you can do it alone or you can do it with two drivers. I'm going with in the pro am category, so I'm going with an amateur driver. So I basically when I sit in the car is just to go for racing. So I don't have many. I do 2 or 3 laps in a in the car in the free practice. So I do all my work before the races, before with sim racing.
Yeah, that's what I want to ask. Yeah, which sim racing can you use to prepare yourself for NASCAR in Brazil?
Well, I always here in Portugal I have iRacing.
Okay.
It's the one I use, but there they have Automobilista 2.
Okay, that's what that's what I want to ask because they have this full stock car there with all the trucks. So
Yeah,
I
exactly.
presume will be the most easy way for we have access to
True.
all the trucks are.
So, but I use it just for to understand the track,
Okay.
to memorize the points and the braking points and sometimes I have other drivers that can help me also always. We do together because it's easier sometimes. And there I go like 2 3 days before, so we can do some sim. And well, it's good because they know the tracks so well. They race in so many things there: GTs, stock cars, NASCAR, endurance. So they know all the details. They know by heart all the circuits and where the bumps are. So
Yeah.
they help me there, and basically, so it's my preparation I do there, and then I'll see a lot of videos as well, which helps a lot.
And how you prepare yourself for the heat?
Well, I do a lot of sauna, and sometimes I do a bicycle in the sauna to help
Okay.
to. Because it's not just the temperature there. The temperature we have. Portugal is also a very hot country during the summer. But the difference there is basically we go from summer here and it's winter, and then we go on the winter. For example, next race will be in December. It's summer there, so the difference of temperature it's higher, so it helps.
Yeah.
It costs you more than from summer to summer, but I do that. The problem there is the humidity. Always you sweat a lot. You lose a lot of weight, and
And the altitude, no? Because sometimes
also the
you
altitude.
have areas that are too high, areas that are more low. So you guys are always because Brazil is a
It's
huge
true, but
country.
yeah, but I think they have. For me, I run a lot and I do a lot of sports, so the cardio it's there. It's always
Mhm.
there. It's no problem. But the thing is the heat. It's the temperature, and you have the engine right on your back, so it doesn't help.
I
Uh,
imagine.
and everything is very thin, because of the weight. So the heat passes through the cockpit. So it's but the races are not very 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 long. It's just a 30 minutes race. But it's a difference. Sometimes when you do endurance, you have to manage the tires. You have to a lot of things to do there. No, it's sprint and you start
Just
100%,
pure racing.
and yeah, it's full racing.
I
And
think a lot of people are, as a Portuguese too. We forgot how good is Latin America racing gender because they race everything from Fiat Unos that
that's
they make such a red and they are so passionate about their own racing that sometimes we forgot that we think only in Europe or only in America or
no, it's not true, man. We have last weekend we raced in Tarumã, which is in
Mhm.
Porto Alegre, Rio Grande do Sul, in the south of Brazil, and there was 30,000 people there.
Exactly,
In
that's what I say.
in Interlagos, it was 50,000, 55,000. It's crazy. You don't move. You can't go anywhere. They they like pictures. They like everything. They're very passionate about it. So
And
it's
even from the small series, because we saw when are the cover on Formula 4 or Formula 4 Brazil, it's huge. There's a lot of people always going there, a lot of fans.
yeah. I think they have a lot of American mentality there.
Yeah,
Uh, for example, I was the other day. I went to see a corner because I wanted to see. So I went outside the circuit. And then there was this guy, seated with a wife. watching. It was a Saturday, so it's less crowded. But seated with the wife next to him, he was just watching the corner with the barbecue on the side. He just flipped the meat and then watched 2 seconds, 10 seconds more the corner, flipped again, ate it. It's a party for them.
Yeah.
They spend the day there. It's different.
Yeah.
It's really nice to see.
And going back to your racing history or racing career, I'll start everything.
Well, I started in. I started. It's a funny story because I also have another passion, which is football, and I started playing football. So, but it took me. I had training all day, every day during the whole week. So to study was difficult. My grades were very bad. So my mother said, "Listen, it's enough of football. You gotta come out." So my cousin, he was racing in go-karting. So I decided to, give me a try. And he was with my uncle, so let me try. I tried. I said, okay, I'm going. I want to try. I want to try this. So I bought a go-kart. I went to training with my cousin. It only was for on during the weekend, so my mother allowed me. So I think my mother wasn't very happy. Now if you ask her, she would say that it would be better for me to go for football. It's less dangerous, for a mother, for the heart.
Exactly.
It's more, but at the end, I think it was a good choice.
And after you went to Formula Renault too, I'm correct?
After I went to Formula BMW.
Okay, Formula BMW.
I finished second there. The Iberian Championship. I finished there was good. First rookie, so it was very good. And then I went to Formula Renault, and then Formula 3 in Spain, from European Formula Renault, Formula 3 in Spain, and then I went to British GT.
Okay.
I did 1 year there. And then I went to touring cars for many years, and then I moved to GTs, and from GTs now NASCAR. Makes me like this makes me old, so but
Don't worry, because we are all involved with me. I think I'm 10 years younger than you, so it's not a big difference. But if you have to choose one series, what was your favorite series to drive?
Well, I really like GT.
Okay,
GT
the
cars
British.
No, when I did the GT Open.
Okay,
really
Open GT.
GT Open was really good. Nice tracks, Spa, Silverstone, what else? France, Barcelona, a lot of Hungaroring as well, Austria. We had so many nice circuits, and it was really good. But the races, and I like the part of the strategy as well.
Okay.
How to decide who goes when to come in, when to go, to drive a change. That part is interesting as well, and the way you manage you need to do you need to manage the tires and everything, which was fun in a part. But to be honest, I also like this short races, 30 minutes. It's like whoever goes faster wins. It doesn't. You don't manage anything at all. Just drive as fast as you can, and it's fun as well. It's difficult to say which one is best. If you put me in a single seater, maybe for a drives, for to go around the track, it's the nicest car to drive. Single seaters like Formula 3, but the races were difficult to overtake because we were so the pace was so the same, was so
So
difficult
similar, yeah.
similar. So the races were not as fun as the other ones, but it's difficult to say. It's I think you like where you go in the front.
Exactly.
The longer in the front, this is fun.
You touched on something that I was not here to speak, but I want to know the difference between iRacing and Automobilista 2. Because a lot of people don't like Automobilista 2 because the car feels, how we're going to explain, like you have a wheel on the middle of the car. Like the four is not, you don't feel like the four wheels are on the car, and like you have a wheel on a center, and that is where control the car. So what is for you a big difference between iRacing and Automobilista 2?
Well, the drivability it's much more realistic in iRacing than it is in Automobilista. I only do Automobilista just to know the tracks and to know to have some reference. Because to be honest, the other one is it's quite better. For example, Automobilista doesn't allow you a mistake. Small mistake, you're out. It's you crash and in racing, all cars they you have a small you have more feeling in real life. You have more feeling. Sometimes I went a bit far here, but you can control because you know what you're doing. But there, it's suddenly you happens something and you spun. You're doing like 1 kilometer higher the speed the corner and and iRacing allows you some mistakes, which you, normally you do them while while you drive in real racing. So this is the main difference, I think.
And do you feel that sim racing is helping now a lot to prepare the drivers and help them in know the tracks, if knowing better the car?
For sure. Well, first of all, you can always understand how a car reacts
Okay,
because it helps you that. It helps you what I mentioned already about knowing the tracks, knowing the braking points. You go. I remember when we didn't exist this kind of scene where I went to tracks and I didn't know which if it was the first corner to the left or to the right. So
exactly.
before I go there before the track walk, but it was really difficult. But now it's I need to put there. I need to put you have the things you change from iRacing or from sim racing to real life. It's not that much. The lines are there, the braking points are there. Then it's just the feeling of the car, which helps. What helps its mileage in the car. Also, when you race when you know where you can overtake, where
Mhm.
which areas to overtake. You do a lot of racing, and you can do 20 races a day in iRacing, more than that.
Yeah,
And the experience you get from there, from that, you can apply it in real life.
yeah.
How to pressure a driver to make a mistake, how to do a Caesar, and so you don't go to a race raw. You go to race with some experience already, which is really nice.
And help you on the time on to manage, like for example, traffic. You think sim racing is helping you on that part, like managing the traffic, knowing where you should position yourself to be overtake and to overtake?
Well, that what do you mean when you go, for example, for qualifying and you
Yeah,
need to
exactly,
find a
exactly. When you know when the you think help, and even on inside of the race.
in qualifying, no, because it's iRacing. You do it qualifying alone,
Okay.
right? Uh, at least the series I do it alone. It's two
Mhm.
laps, but actually it prepared me for NASCAR because one of NASCAR has a thing which is different from the other categories. Um, the races changes from one to it's not the same like to qualify one qualify or two qualifying into races. No, it is, but sometimes by when they launch the calendar, you know how it's going to be the whole season. So
Okay.
imagine sometimes, for example, last race it doubles the points. So a guy who's like third in the championship, yeah, he has also changed a chance to win. Uh, Another race it's at night. Another race is you qualify in the first race you can the 10 for the first 10 they can choose which position they start, and then the second one it's the reverse. For example, if
Okay.
I choose start first, the second one I start 10. So it's a lot of things that you need to control and to adapt. So which is really good,
That's funny
and
because that's bring always
it's a new
we never
challenge.
know what's gonna happen, and for us as spectators bring us a different races because we're gonna be always something different, always something new.
It's true. Sometimes qualifying it's just sorry. Sometimes qualifying it's just two laps. So
Okay.
groups of four, they go one go. the 10 seconds, another car goes, 10 seconds, and then you have 2 laps. So that thing also helps me a lot. The sim racing, because I always do 2 laps of qualifying, and it helps me to be focused from the start, which is
Okay,
really good.
okay, yeah. And as we are a sim racing podcast, we already speak this one before we start the podcast. I want to ask it, what is your hardware? But you told me that you have a friend that sets up
Oh,
everything for you.
I would love to say, but I don't. Listen, I'm a zero in computers. I like to. I like technology, but unfortunately, I understand zero. Uh, it's true, but I have a friend. He helps me sometimes when I have an issue that doesn't work for some reason. I call him. I listen. I'm in trouble. You gotta help me. So he he does everything in his computer enters in mine. So he helps me with that. But I have my sim. It's just for sim. I don't use it for the computer for anything else.
Okay.
Um, I know it's powerful, but I know what it is. But I like to. I sit. I put headphones. I start in the zone. I drive, and when it's over, I click. And if I have any problem, I call my friend because he helps me a lot.
And how many hours you pass on a simulators on this moment?
Well, it depends a lot.
Okay.
I'm not I don't do it every day,
Hmm.
but for example, in a race week, I do it every day. 2 weeks before I start doing a lot, but then I need a pause because sometimes I do a lot, but then I need a pause, and then I miss it, and then
You jump straight away. Yeah.
yeah, it jumps a little bit up and down.
Yep.
Um, I don't train much. I don't do a lot of practice.
Okay.
I like to sit and go directly to the race. And if I do a mistake, uh, what I'm saying, for example, I like to race. The practice for me, I know I need to practice because they do so many laps. There are these guys, they do 1,000 laps before they start racing. I go directly, and then I learn with the mistakes on the race.
Okay. Okay.
But I know it's sometimes not the way it's supposed to be.
That everyone have a different ways of doing, you know?
But
Yeah.
it's the way I have. I try to the way in a way for me to be more focused. I need to be racing, just to do laps and laps, and then I start looking to my phone and no, I need to race, and I need to do like a weekend. I start with 2 shorts, really short pre-practice,
And jump straight away.
qualifying, then
Yep.
I go race because otherwise it's
Uh,
tough.
And setting up a car on real life and on a sim racing, what's the big difference for you?
Well, I think it helps me to give an idea on a car on a iRacing what it is to do it in real life. But to be honest, I have difficulties in feeling unless it's a really big change.
Hmm.
Small changes. I don't feel it that much in a sim car than I feel in real life. I don't know because I think because you don't feel in a sim you don't feel a car. You feel
Exactly.
it in the wheel, and in real life you feel it in your body, in your butt as well, in the because you sit in the car, right? And the car moves. So this is the main difference. But it helps but it helps the sim helps to go in the I think in the right direction in real life.
Yeah, it was. We've been now in a sim expo this year, and one of the things I have there was quite interesting was a type of cushions that you put on your seat that help you to start feeling the car
Oh,
on
really?
on your body. So
I didn't know.
yeah, something that's
Well,
coming.
I've driven some
Motion rigs. Yeah.
yeah, but it's too aggressive. Well, unless I haven't tried a very very good one, but the ones I tried, they are the way they when you turn the wheel, it's too aggressive, and the way you move your body, so it's not smooth. You don't feel
Hmm.
it's not a real feel.
Exactly.
So maybe that cushion works. I don't know.
No, it's
And
just as a small evolution. I think they always bring so many evolutions. They try to put the sim racing so close to motorsport. But you think sim racing is getting closer to motorsport, or is still a big gap?
no, no, definitely it's much closer. Actually, I'm racing with a guy. I had a teammate this
Mhm.
whole season, and these last two races, no, last one and the next one, it's going to be a different driver because the other driver had a health problem, so he couldn't make it the rest of the season. So they invited me to go with another driver, which for me was no problem. So to help him as well. And I'm doing these two last races with a guy called Jeff Giassi. He was sim racing. He came from sim racing. It's like his third year in racing and real racing. But he really impressed me the maturity he has in only 3 years. It's impressed me. I said, listen, let's prepare the weekend now. The weekend starts before we enter the car, so we need to take care of the car the whole weekend. Because if we have a crash, if we go out, then we start the car starts behaving differently, and we need to
Exactly.
take care of the car since the first lap. Okay, we need to go fast, of course, but we need to take care of the car and the tires and everything. And he said, okay, let's do that. So we developed a plan. You can do, it's like 40 minutes free practice. You can do 18 laps. Let's just do 10. I do three, no problem. You do seven. And then, because we need to save tires, we need to prepare everything, we need to avoid exiting. And then the guy said, okay, so he can you hear me?
Yeah, 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 of course.
Oh, sorry. So he did everything according to the plan. His mentality was way above a guy of his age. The way he didn't do a mistake. He didn't do. He followed the other car. He was fast, maybe faster, but not fast enough to overtake. So I said, "Ronald, listen, if you feel comfortable, you can overtake. If you don't feel as fast as you think, just important to finish. And he finished. He finished seventh overall
Okay.
and third on the category. So it was really good. He was really happy. I was happy for him as well, and it really impressed me. And it's coming just from sim racing, which is impressive.
It's crazy all the evolution on the new generation of sim racers they are. No, we have the English sim racer that went to the race of champions and he won against Mika Kinen and Valtteri Bottas. I think they have so many hours on the simulator, so many time already driving that we cannot
Well, it's
imagine.
of course he needs time in the car. It's not
Yeah.
like okay, I have 10 years of sim racing. Let's sit in the car. I'm the fastest. No, he needs, because then he needs to deal with the reality of getting hurt, of going out,
Hmm.
of crashing, uh, a lot of things. But the pace was really good. The pace was
Okay.
good, uh, and the mentality was what really impressed me the most, and
Perfect.
was really good.
What was your best race?
Well, my best race. Well, I won in touring cars in Estoril, my home
Okay.
country. Is always which is it has a different feeling to win at home.
Exactly.
But it also has an extra pressure, because I have all the friends, family, sponsors, everyone there. Was it European touring car, and I started fifth, and I won the race, so it was a really good one. It gave me a ticket to go to WTCR at the time, which was where I raced in which I raced in the UK actually.
Okay.
Red Zatch, the long one.
Yep.
It was really good. Also in GT as well, GT cars. Was a really good one in the one I did in Silverstone. A lot of pressure doing I broke the bottom of the car, so I had
Okay.
no front, no front. The car was oversteering a lot, so the cars were coming, and I was doing a train there, walking everyone, but I managed to win it. And another one that is more fresh is the race I won in NASCAR Brazil in
Oh,
Interlagos. It's always a feeling to race where my idol is from.
okay.
In Siena, he's from he won there as well, and he's from São Paulo. So it's always a different feeling in front of 50,000 people. Race wasn't easy. A lot of I was in the front, but some safety cars made them close, and I had like 3 cars or 4 cars behind. It was a lot of pressure, but it was really good win.
And now I have to ask, what is your favorite car truck combo to use on sim racing?
Our track combo. Oh, to use in sim racing.
Yeah.
In sim racing, I like American tracks. For
Okay.
example, I like Laguna Seca a lot, and I like or with the Formula 3
Okay.
or with the GT car, like the Ferrari. I like the cars when they're all the same sometimes,
All right.
because it's more balanced the racing.
Have you ever drive in the Laguna Seca on real life?
Never,
And
never, never.
if you have to choose one track to drive that you want really to try, which one will be on the real life?
Well, we have North Life as well.
Okay.
North Life. What else? I would like to try. I would like Japan.
Okay.
The
Suzuka.
Suzuka. That would be really nice. Uh, there's one track we don't have it anymore, but it was really nice. At least in TV with the 3 long corners. Istanbul. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe from one day they raced there like I don't know 5, 6, 7, no, maybe 8 years ago. They had
I think
Istanbul.
sometimes these conversations or talks that they bring it because they bought last time to when was the COVID time, but
Yes, true.
they had some problems with the tarmac. I don't know if you remember. They have to put people driving the road cars around the track because the tarmac was quite new and was no many grip. It was really funny. So before
I
the
didn't
races,
remember that.
yeah, it's a video that before the races they was using road cars. People they open the track for the road for people going with the road cars to just to take a little bit of exactly. It was quite
Because
funny.
that's
Yeah, because everything was new and they just prepared it themselves.
yeah, Boston as well. Austin must be amazing as well.
Yeah, I think American trucks. If you pick up that combo from the where was that 90s on IndyCar, I think they have a lot of trucks similar to Sebring, and I think that's something unique.
Like I told you, I like the old tracks. The track that are a little bit bumpy.
Bumpy,
Well, Texas, it's not old, but it's already a little bit bumpy. But
I
I like those corners, like you have it as well in Silverstone, Beckett, and that section, where
the
it's the fast
double
and
S's. Yeah.
yeah, fast and fluid is nice.
On the finish note is always something that I ask, and to be fair, we've been lucky. So last, I always ask if we guys have a chance to remember us just one time on the race, put a sticker of us on the
Oh
car,
well,
just to, and we already put a challenge to 2 drivers, one on Portuguese driver on rally that he won on this category and he gets 6 on overall in the rally, and we had lucky because we give it to GTs on Europe, GT series, the endurance ones, and they won on the Ferrari
really?
29 to yeah. So I think I've been lucky. So if you want, as we will send you a sticker for we put in one of the corners of the car, probably will bring lucky to the next one.
Sure, for sure. Also, it's guaranteed now. It's a
It's not
guaranteed
guaranteed
win.
because the first race that he take at the was on Spa, the 24-hour Spa, and unfortunately they on the last corner they've been take out, and after the car starts
Oh, it
having
became
too many damage, and they have to retire. But after they won in Nürburgring, and after they won in Catalonia, so on the final of the end, they won the league.
A little, it's never too much. A little bit of help.
Yeah,
And,
we never know.
and
Can help or not. Now you are on a lucky strike. Now you are on a lucky strike.
lucky, exactly.
Lourenço, thanks so much for everything. It was a pleasure to having you. A pleasure to talk with you. You are part of a group of, I would say, 10 drivers Portuguese drivers that are always on my mind. And of course, the first one have to be always Pedro Lamy, that we want or no want was one of our idols when we grow up. And after you have so many drivers like Filipe Albuquerque, Antonio Felix Acosta, that have so many good qualities. And I think, unfortunately, in Portugal, we never knew how to help them and support them to make the big jump as Pedro Lamy and Tiago Monteiro made it to Formula One. But I know that you are one of our favorite drivers, and I think we need to push more our Portuguese drivers because they deserve a chance too.
Thank you. Listen, it was a pleasure here. The time passed really quickly, which is good. I hope you enjoyed as well.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. So thank you so much for staying with us and listening to this amazing podcast or this amazing interview with Lourenço. Thank you so much to Lourenço for joining me once again. Next episode, we will talk about WRC. So I will comment what is happening with the WRC game or what the community talk about it. So we're going to see and break down the videos from GM, Random Call Sign, from Jimmy Broadbent, and much, much more. Of course, we will talk about Traxion and what is happening, and we'll talk a little bit about some news. So guys, remember, see you on the next episode. Bye.